Out of all the communities on the online internet sphere, the height growth community has more misinformation and more myths than probably any other community. Now, from the ages of 17 to 18, I grew from about 5'9" to about 6'4", so I would consider myself somewhat of a scientist in this department.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
So today, guys, I've got 7 of the biggest height growth myths that you've been told. Let's get it. The number one biggest myth in the height growth community is that height is purely genetic. And now, anytime you tell somebody it's not always genetic, they're gonna gaslight you. They're gonna be like, oh no, height's just all genetics. It's all genetics. It's all genetics. This is simply not facts. The truth is, your height is actually only about 60 to 80% genetic. Meanwhile, there's a 20 to 40% of environmental factors. Meaning, let's say genetically, if you do everything properly, you could be 6'5", just like me. But if you don't do things properly, maybe you're 5'11", 6 feet. This is exactly how your height growth genetics works. So the key is to optimize everything so that you can reach your full genetic potential during the most important growing stages. Number 2, a huge myth in this community is that lifting weights will stunt your height. This is simply false. The truth is, you can pretty much start strength training at a very, very young age, and this is actually going to boost your hormones, specifically HGH, which will help you actually get taller in the end. Now, the only way that it could actually stunt your growth is if you're doing improper squats and deadlifts. This is the only way. Outside of this, as long as you have proper form in all your lifts, you're not trying to go too hard, it's actually going to be one of the best things that you can do to promote height growth. Myth number 3, a caloric deficit stunts your height. Now, once again, another big myth. Everyone says, oh, if you eat less food, you're not going to be as tall as you're supposed to be. You have to eat as much food as possible. Here's the truth, my brother. It's all about your body fat percentage. Meaning, if you're too lean, let's say below 10% body fat, now you're in an unhealthy state and you will not grow as tall. Versus on the other end of the spectrum, let's say you're over 15% body fat, now your body's pumping out all this estrogen, and so you eat more food, it's actually gonna lower the hormones, making you not grow as tall as possible. So the best thing to do, if you're underweight, you need to eat more food, but if you're overweight, you need to eat less food. Number 4, I'm sure your grandparents have always told you this one, man. Coffee drinking stunts your growth. There's literally not a single scientific research backing this up ever since the dawn of time. Now, personally, my parents let me get hooked on this stuff ever since I was like 10 years old, man. So I can tell you from personal experience, it does not stunt your growth, man. I was popping espressos at 10 years old. So you are good in that department. Have as much coffee as you'd like. You will still get taller. Number 5, I hate to say this one simply because I'm a nofap retention YouTuber. I talk about this stuff all the time. But jerking off, it doesn't stunt your growth, man. I'm gonna be honest, it really doesn't affect your testosterone levels too much. And personally, for the internet to hear, I would jerk off like a madman, man. Whenever I was a teenager, like 16, 17, 18, like I would go nuts with it. And I still grew very, very tall. So obviously this has absolutely no effect on if you'll grow taller. I get this question asked quite a bit as well. So you want to balance it. If you really want to do it, I advise to do it without the video. That's going to be the healthiest thing. The videos are not good for anybody. It's very bad for the brain development overall. But when it comes to your height growth, it does not affect it. Myth number 6 is that you cannot grow after puberty, man. Once your growth plates are closed, oh, you're done. You can't grow anymore. Here's the truth once again. There have been cases after cases of people growing in their 20s, their mid-20s, like Dennis Rodman, and still maximizing their high growth potential. Let's say you were in a nutrition deficiency most of your life, most of your childhood, most of your puberty, and then you finally get your stuff right, you'll probably still grow a little bit. You'll probably grow a couple of inches. Let's say you fix your posture. Let's say you start stretching and hanging religiously. You can probably still add another inch or two, man. So your height is not strictly defined after puberty. Number 7, milk does not make you grow. Now this is coming from someone who used to drink a gallon of raw cow's milk every single day. The truth is, regular milk, let's say regular pasteurized milk that 99% of you guys are consuming, this will not affect your height growth in the slightest. If anything, it'll actually slow it down because of all the sugar inside this milk. Now, I cannot personally advise for health reasons to drink the raw milk, but that is the only milk I specifically believe could possibly help. It helped in my case, but legally I cannot advise it. Do everything at your own risk. Now, if you need some of the best high growth supplements to optimize your health during this growing period, kalosique.com for my personal supplements that will help you grow taller. I've got vitamin D, ashwagandha, creatine, collagen protein, which has been scientifically proven to help you grow taller as well. All of it, kalosique.com. That's it, guys. Peace.